Oh, hello again, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the New Zealand Sport Podcast. Um, as you can tell, we're wearing the same attire. Well, you've changed, I haven't. And
No,
that's
just put a
because,
jersey on. That's
oh, there
all.
you go. -2 degrees in London, is it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, well, there you
Something
go.
like that.
Um, so this is our first official proper episode. So what we're going to be doing today, as mentioned in the last podcast, is we're going to be previewing the 2025 Super Rugby season. So we're just going to run through each team, go over, what we think their strengths and weaknesses are, where we think that each team will finish, and then that'll kind of do us. We might also finish with some punting tips for the season as well. We'll
Mm,
do that
for
throughout the
those
yeah.
for those that are inclined that way.
Yeah. Um, so I'll start, and we are going to start with the Canes. So I've got the strengths for the Canes this year as their front row, um, and the reason for that is if you look at the what I expect their four props to be in most weeks, it'll be the two tight heads for the All Blacks, so Taro Lomax and Pasilio Tossi. So that's just incredible, having the two best tight heads in the country. And then the loose heads, I think, are underrated too. Xavier Nemir, who I thought was pretty close to the Hurricanes' best player last year before he got injured. He'll be probably starting loose head. And then Pody Rakiti Stones off the bench, who's just a real fucking
Yeah,
gritty, proper prop. So I think these
always a
strengths.
fan favorite. Great guy on the beer as
Yeah,
well whenever you see him in town. So that makes it even better.
yeah. Um, can't say I can comment on that, but there you go. So yeah, I think the strength for them definitely the pack. The front row. And then the weakness, I think this is a pretty obvious one, is first five. So last year they had Aidan Morgan and Brett Cameron as the 10, mainly Brett Cameron, who pretty much was the 10 every single game. Brett Cameron's out for the season. Aidan Morgan's gone. So it's looking like the 10 for the Canes this year will be maybe Ruben Love, but he's also injured to start the season. So it's going to be start. They're going to be starting with Riley Horhipper or Lucas Cashmore. So two pretty inexperienced first fives at their level. So it's pretty clear that that's going to be probably the area that will let them down. What about yourself? Thoughts on the Canes?
Yeah,
William?
I think we've got a couple of strengths like you say, front row is obviously pretty fucking strong and for a Super Rugby team. I think our Lucy's like there's not too many teams in the comp that could lose Artie Savea and still be sweet. Like when you got the nose Devon Flander, you got Braden Yossi, you've got your Duplessis Karifi, you got all these
Heather
all these
Pussy,
stalwarts.
Alan Griffey. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you got and obviously Peter Lacko like that. That is a very formidable back row. And then obviously Cam Roygaard, like I think those are our two main strengths. Like if we have a fully fit Roygaard for the whole season, that puts us in
yeah,
very good step for a good decent run. And like you say, I think our weaknesses are definitely the first fives, definitely to start at least.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's where we're lacking a bit of depth at the moment.
Yeah, no, and to be fair, yeah, Lucy halfback as well. Like I think that's an area of strength too. Obviously halfback, not just Cam Ruger, but Geordie Viljoen off the
Yeah,
bench. Like he's a future All Black. He's a gun. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely strong in
It's a
areas.
good
But
1-2. Yeah, good 1-2 punch.
so yeah, I mean yeah, the front row's good. Lucy's a good. I think midfield's still good. I think
Yeah,
just it'll be the maybe the locks and the second row and the first five position.
yep.
Alrighty. Next we've got the Brumbies. So their strengths at,
Brumbies.
I mean, we could do this 10 years in a row and we're probably going to be saying the same thing about the Brumbies. The strength is
Yep.
just the pack in general. They'll score probably
Yep.
500 to 600 rolling more tries.
Yeah,
They'll be
absolutely.
the most,
You're is it Lonergan? Lonergan the hooker? He'll be up there for top try
yeah.
scorer.
Oh, yeah, he's top try scorer. Put your money on it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, they'll bore you to death, but they'll be so hard to beat. They probably won't lose a game in Canberra. They obviously have, the benefit of playing the Aussie teams twice, so
Yeah.
boys have a pretty soft draw, so they'll be up there. Um, weakness for me, I couldn't really pinpoint a specific position. I actually just went the fact that their team's kind of aging. So if you look across the park, like they've got
Yeah,
a few old guys like Alan Alatoa still there, and a few other guys that like do the job, but they've been around for a few years. They haven't kind of won it in the last couple of years. They kind of always go out and about the semis. And I just that's where I see them. Like I just think they're an old team, and yeah, I don't think they've added enough to kind of change that.
yeah,
Yourself?
yeah. I think they've got quite an exciting backline. Like their back three, obviously, like your Corey Tools, Tommy
Mm.
Banks. These are like good X
A
factor players
Muirhead?
to
Is
have.
Muirhead still
Yeah,
there?
Muirhead, yeah, Muirhead as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
To have on the back of like such a solid forward pack.
Mm.
That's exciting. And then even you've got your Lolosias and your Len Flickertowers as well. They're
Yeah.
pretty decent combo
Yeah.
for like the Super Rugby team. But yeah, I think like you say, the forwards will always be a strength in, but like you say, they are aging. They've
Mm.
been the same names we've had for like the last 5 years. So, and they
Mm.
haven't really like their type five is pretty unknown to us, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I agree with you there. But they're always going to be tough to beat in Canberra.
Oh,
And like you say, the playing the Aussie teams, that extra time they'll always be up there.
yeah. A horrible place to play Canberra. I don't know what it is. Like no one can win there. It just always looks
Yeah,
so cold and awful. All right. Next we have the Crusaders. So I'm expecting a bit of a bounce back from them. They've got a
yeah.
few.
I think that's my biggest note
Yeah.
is that like them after a shit year is going to be pretty difficult. Oh, did I cut out?
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
I've got this. Yeah. Oh, you broke up there, sorry, mate. That's great. That's terrible for a podcast. People are going to realize that we're amateurs pretty quickly when they see your fucking London leg setting in. But anyway, strength. Obviously, they've got way more strength than this. I've tried to just focus on just one thing for most teams, and I've gone just back three with having Will Jordan back, um, and then you've obviously got like Severesh still and like Macca Springer and just like good Super Rugby level back three players. So like Will Jordan's the main one. Like he's at Super Rugby level, he's just streaks ahead of pretty much anyone else. And then weaknesses for them. Um, where have I gone? Weaknesses. Still, I still think their weaknesses is like the 10. Like they've signed James O'Connor, but they got similar issues than they did last year, and the same issues the Canes have. I reckon. Like they don't really have a good 10. And it just like it showed last year. If you don't have a good 10, like you're going to be in a bit of shit, even if the rest of your team's alright. So, um, yeah, I don't know how we would go there. Like he's a good player in his day, but it's
Mm,
I still think like I think their three first fives are still Rivs, Rohana, Taha Kemida, and James O'Connor. Like for me, that's just no none of them are Super Rugby level anymore for a good Super Rugby side.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get my weakness would have been the 10 as well, but I think that in that system, like even
Mm.
though O'Connor might not be exactly what he was, I think he
Yeah.
can do more of a job than what they had there last year. But
Mm.
then yeah, like you say, their strengths are obviously like back three with Will Jordan, Severeece, and I reckon Levi Armour for a bit of a bounce back year as well. Like obviously
Mm.
was. I don't know. It was amazing at Moana when he had
Yeah.
no pressure on him, and I think like just the big move may have like now he's a bit more settled. I reckon he'll probably have a bit of a
Mm.
better year this year than what he did last year. Probably let himself down a bit, but yeah, no, the
Mm.
Crusaders are always going to be up and about, aren't they? They're going to be back up there this year. You'd have to think
Yeah, just to sidetrack, who do you think's heavier, Levi Moore or Suffer Moore?
Levi.
Levi's got way more kegs on him, eh? Which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just crazy because I mean, yeah, Levi looks like the hooker, really, eh? Like he's
yeah. They're
essentially he's
both
more
dense
positive.
objects, so yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, who's next? Who we got next?
Tars.
Waratahs. Okay,
Yeah,
this is a team I like this year. I'm
yeah,
massive on these guys this year. So
absolutely.
strength, their backline is crazy. So obviously they've signed quite a few players. That I think they're the team that's benefited most from the Rebels
Yeah,
disappearing. So they've got obviously he's a prop before I get into their backline, but Taniela Tupou is a good
Tupou,
sign. But
yep,
then their backline, they've got Andrew Callaway back, who's massive.
Callaway,
Joseph Suali's huge, obviously not from the Rebels, but yeah, you just look across their team and you go, man, like these guys could put together a proper, like if they don't have injuries, their starting 15 will be wicked.
mm,
And again, like obviously all the Aussie teams, I think they could be a real dark horse for top four because of that soft draw of getting to play all the Aussie teams. Like I think if they get some momentum, there won't be an Aussie team that will be able to beat them.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, they were pretty close to last year. They're pretty much the worst team in the comp. It was like them in the
yeah,
fourth. But what a jump I reckon they'll take. Weaknesses though, and it's not really a weakness. I've gone a little bit different. I reckon just the fact that they have a new team, like there's so many new people coming into that team,
yeah.
it just
There
might take
was,
time. Yeah,
yeah, I had the same thing as well.
yeah,
Yeah, I think they recruited really well. They got some like good firepower to add to their team that they had from last year. It's just going to be about how they all gel together, like
yeah,
bringing so many players into that starting
mm,
15.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and like you say, definitely a top four smoky. Um,
yeah. But yeah, like, because I mean, the other thing is that a lot of those new guys that they brought in are Wallabies, so they wouldn't have come into preseason until probably like this week,
yeah,
and then just that cohesion could take a while, and it's such a short comp, Super Rugby. It's not like the NRL, so if they
yeah,
lose if they lose three even of their first five games, then it's only a top six this year, remember too. So it's like it's a
yeah, yeah,
different playoff system. So, but I think if they click early, then yeah, shit, yeah, they're a smoky.
yeah.
Um, Anything else on the Tars there, Will? Or are you pretty happy to just love them and
Yeah,
leave them?
no, pretty happy with that. Like you say, they've got some really nice players as well, like your Angus Bells and even
Mm.
old Edmed
Oh, Tana
after his
Edman. Yeah,
yeah
yeah,
yeah yeah
yeah,
after his North Harbour stint. Like
yeah. He
that's
loves
been
North
doing
Harbour.
well. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I think like you say, they're a real dark horse this year.
Mm.
Maybe not to win it all, but to go quite to kind of turn it around and give us all a bit of a shock.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Chiefs next. Your favorite team.
Yeah, my
So,
favourites. Yeah.
um, they have a very good team. Like it does pain me to say it, but they their strength I've got is everything apart from their props. Like I think if you look at
Yeah,
their
yeah,
team,
yeah,
absolutely, if they don't get injuries, every single player in that starting lineup and even their bench, apart from their props, is like elite. I
yeah,
think their props still aren't bad, but they're not. None of them are All Blacks. None of them are like that great. They lost a lot of the big games last year, or even like the big derbies in the regular season, as well as the final, because of their scrum. Like their scrum let them
scrum.
down, and I don't think they've actually improved that at all. So although I think they probably are the favourites, like if their props don't at least just if their props aren't at what they were last year, then that could probably be their downfall.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, there's your strengths and weaknesses for the Chiefs.
yeah,
Any
no,
thoughts?
100%. Yeah, like you say, just across the board, they've got a pretty phenomenal team.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, I think probably the like you say, weakness definitely the props. It'll be interesting to see how old Satiti goes. Wonder if he's
mm.
gonna perform like he did last year, get a bit of second year syndrome,
Does
as
that might
they
cost
like to
them
call it.
easy? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it might cost him
um,
Satiti. Yeah, yeah, they might absolutely get a bit of second
yeah.
year syndrome, as they say. But yeah,
Yeah, who knows, eh? The other thing actually that will affect them a little bit, and I had this for I've got this for the Blues later on as well, is the All Black rest weeks. Like, often if you have way too many All Blacks, it can be quite hard to manage. So that would
yeah,
just be another thing, I guess. But no one's going to be complaining by having that many. I don't know about second year syndrome for him though. He's good,
yeah.
eh?
No, he's
He's
quality. He's
insane.
he's insane.
Such
I
a good
guess
player.
he's just played so much rugby this year though that it
Yeah,
could he might look a little
yeah.
bit gassed at the start.
Mm. I'd
But
say
yeah, no,
more
he's
likely.
incredible.
Probably more likely, I'd say more likely an injury, eh? I reckon because of how
Yeah,
much he's played than him dropping off. I think when he plays, he's just a gun. Like you just can't stop him.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
all right. The next
Here we got
one, the
next
Reds.
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 Yeah,
Again, I think they've got better because of obviously they've gained a few of those Rebels guys, like mainly just guys they've got back that used to be at the Reds. But
Yeah,
I've got their strength, and it's been their strength for years as
yeah.
their
It's
loosies.
this one's obvious. Yeah,
So
their
obvious,
back
yeah.
row is incredible.
Yeah. So you got Fraser McWright, you got Harry Wilson, Salakai Lotta, and that. So that their loosies are wicked. They'll keep them in games. I've got their weaknesses, just their tight five. Like it's just a bit, it's a bit inexperienced and average. Like they've got some experience there with like Tumang Allen and
Yeah,
got like some guys that have been around for a few years, but I just there's nothing about their
it's
tight
not.
five that scares me. I'm just like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fucking average. Um,
yeah.
you much the same there?
Yeah, no, that back row is incredible. It's arguably the best in the comp. And it's just a variety in the back row as well. Like you got your Fraser McWright that's just gonna win you fucking like two or three turnovers a game. Your Harry Wilson he's
Yeah.
just a rugby league bloody ball runner, and then like and then like your Salakai Lottos or like even your Liam Wrights stuff like
Oh,
that.
Liam
Like
Wright, yeah, wicked.
yeah,
Wallabies captain, isn't he? Forgot him.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
pretty sure he's the Wallabies captain.
No, is
Yeah,
he? Oh shit.
he was for
Um,
a few games. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's definitely their strength, and they've obviously got some dangerous backs listed in their back line with your like Paisamis and your Dangunus and
yeah.
all those kind of characters. But just a note on the
Junkyard dog. You
Reds.
don't like the junkyard dog?
No, always you got to. But
Yeah.
my favorite thing about the Reds this year is the fact they're going to be able to hear the Aussie commentators go for Uru against it every time he
Oh,
says
sir.
set it Uru. That's probably
Yeah,
my favorite aspect of the Reds. So looking forward to that for
yeah. That's a good
2025.
point. That's a fucking good point. Yeah, sir. They enjoy
Uru.
him. It's like who was the other one that they used to love that was at the Tars? What was that joker's name?
What
You know, they
Cliffy
used to put,
Parlu?
nah, there was a guy, oh, it'll come to you. It's like he just every time he got the ball, he was just a complete battler. And every time he
Yeah,
got the ball, the Aussie commentators would lose their mind.
yeah.
Elof,
Oh,
Elof, Rebels.
oh, Elof.
Elof.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just some
That's
big
right,
prop.
Elof.
Elof. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
too
right.
good. Love the commentary.
Yeah, their commentators are good, eh? All right, minor Pacifica next. Strength is obviously I've got the strength as the Lucy's just because it kind of already was to be fair. They've obviously gained Artie as best player in the world, and
Yeah,
then they've still got like your Miracle Failangi. He's one of the best names in world sport.
yeah, the
Sione
best for
Havili,
sure.
yeah, Sione Havili, and that's you just look at their team. Their Lucy's are definitely their strength. Um, and weakness though, they still just don't have good like experienced playmakers. They still have a pretty average type five. Like I'm pretty pessimistic about them, eh? Go
Yeah,
on, Will.
yeah. No, I obviously adding Artie to any team is going to help improve them. But
Mm,
like they're not trending as upward as like as say your Fiji and Drua, who we'll get
mm,
to in a bit. But like
yeah,
they're kind of both come in at similar times and on different trajectories, and it's kind of like there should be some improvement, but yeah, there's not too much hope for this team considering how strong some of the others are.
yeah. And I think like hopefully they get some fans because of Artie, but I can still see it being the case of like if they still get pumped in their first few games, all that excitement about Artie joining and potential
Yeah,
newcomers to the fan base, and I can just see it just dwindling again. Eh?
it
So
goes out the window. Yeah,
yeah, I'm not sure how they're gonna go.
yeah.
Next is the Drua, and okay, I think these guys are the biggest losers of. Sorry, not like that. That sounds awful. Jeepers,
Yeah,
all the Fiji's after me. I don't
yeah.
stand a chance.
Let's clip that up and send it to the Fijian
Yeah,
government.
yeah, great. Um, they are the biggest losers. I keep I keep getting this wrong now. They're the biggest losers from the Rebels' departure, and what I mean by that is they obviously are in the Aussie conference.
Yeah,
Um, but they don't get any of the benefit of the Rebels players getting spread around, and the Aussie teams are obviously stronger now. So I actually have them
yeah,
dropping back a little bit because of the other Aussie teams being better or getting better because of the Rebels disappearing. But still, strengths for them. Backline, obviously, their backline's always incredible. That Ratu, the one right winger, dreads,
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, yeah,
mental. They've got your
Yeah,
super master at centre. Like
yeah, yeah,
they're their backline is, and at home they just go to another level. So their backline's
yeah.
crazy. My weakness for them, haven't gone anything specific around like the pitch. I've gone just their road form. Like every year in
Mm,
Super Rugby, their road form's been horrific. And if it's still the case, then with it going to six teams, and with the Aussie teams get being a bit stronger, like they just can't. They just won't make the top six if they can't win games on the road. Like you just have to win
mm,
away games. But yeah, you go
yeah,
before I get myself in more trouble with the Fijian
yeah,
government.
yeah, yeah. They'll
And
track you
the
down.
Fijian big
Yeah,
followers
yeah,
of the show,
yeah.
the
Absolutely.
Fijian community. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um. Yeah, I'm actually a bit different. They're my Smoky this year. I just think every year they've kind of improved more and more, and I think just like that cohesion, I think they're just only going to get better and better. And now that they actually operate, like they've got some depth at first five, like that Caleb Muntz and is it Armstrong Mavula?
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
yeah.
like those are two quality tens that like you never really associate with kind of those like with a big forward pack and kind of like where everyone's so athletic. You never really associate them with a good like 10 that can control them and get around the park. But I think definitely even over the Autumn series, watched quite a lot of that months for Fiji, and he's actually a quality player. So I think he like can unlock that team's potential, especially all those outside backs. So I've actually got them as they're probably my smoky to get into that kind of top four. And I think, like you say, just playing in Fiji is so difficult.
Mm.
But it will
Yeah.
come down to how they travel.
Oh well, there we go. We differ there, so we'll see. Eh?
There we go. There we go.
But I know what you mean. Like yeah. Like I don't doubt that they've improved a little bit, but I just think have they taken as much of a jump as the Aussie teams? I'm not sure, but we're allowed to disagree. That's all good.
Oh
But
yeah, we'll
you're
fucking
right.
disagree. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we will. Their home form is like that's true. So as much as I talk about their away form, they're also probably going to win all their home games. So and not many teams can do that. So it goes both ways, I guess. Um, all right, next on the list, I have
Highlanders.
the Highlanders. Yeah, so
God, this is such a Highlanders team. Jeez, like
yeah,
all these other
and
teams are getting stronger, and it's just they're getting
yeah,
left behind. Like,
yeah,
it's, yeah,
yeah. So I mean, again, for all the Dunedin folk out there, we've got a lot of friends of the show, of course, that are Highlanders fans. We spent, where this podcast was made was Dunedin, wasn't it? And our friendship. We spent
exactly.
5 years in Dunedin, and Highlanders obviously the second team. We have a lot of respect for them, but they have struggled the last few years, and it's looking like it's going to be another tough one, isn't it? I think
Yeah,
one of the big things with them, if I can just go away from the script a little bit, is they used to be incredible at home. They used to get real good support at Forsyth Bar. They used to be again like similar to what we're saying about Fiji and Jura. Highlanders, even shit Highlanders teams, they wouldn't
mm,
lose many home games, and I think they've kind of lost that. Like the zoo's not as much as it used to be, and I think their team again. I don't know. I just don't know. They just don't. They lose a lot of home games now. They never used to. So I think, and they never win on the road. So it's just going to be hard to make the playoffs. Did they just make it last year? Did they get eighth last year, or did they just miss out? I can't even remember now.
yeah, I can't remember.
But they were. Oh no, they might have. Yeah, they were in. They might have been ended up even getting as high as six or something. I overlook. But I'll check that actually. But I just
Yeah,
think with it going to six teams, with the Aussie teams getting a bit stronger and getting to play each other, obviously having that the benefit of playing each other twice,
yeah,
I think they'll struggle. But I've got these strengths. I was just checking the table. I've got these strengths as their type five, like that's again similar to
yeah,
Brumbies. You've got Ethan de Groot,
yeah.
they've got
De Groot,
Fabian Holland.
Fabian Holland, shit, New Zealand
Got
rugby's a wet dream.
yeah, isn't he? Yours too, probably being a Dutch man. He'd probably be yours, but
Oh, can't say I'm making too many five-finger deposits to myself. Yeah.
yeah, good. But yeah, I just think so that's their strength, but sorry, just bear with me. I'm checking that
Yeah, I
table
think
from last year.
their weakness
Um
is
yeah,
more
they did. They got
just
as high as
like,
six. Yeah, and then
yeah,
mm,
yeah, like you say, their weakness is just
yeah,
around their whole squad kind of not really being
as the
like,
rest of the
yeah,
team.
it's not the same. Yeah,
It's
it's
everyone but
just,
Ethan de Groot and Fabian Holland.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. But I do apologise to all the Dunedin fans out there, like you Cam Reddingtons
Yeah.
and the like. They came sixth last year, so they actually, but still, they only had a 6-win, 8-loss record. It just showed how weak the comp was last year. 6-win, 8-loss record is not getting you in the top six next year.
No,
And
no,
I can't, yeah, I just don't think they're any better than they were last year. Maybe slightly, but not enough. Um, Anything else you want to say about the Otago Highlanders?
no. I think probably the less I say, the better about them. Don't want to incriminate myself, just in case I ever want to go back there at some stage.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, that's the
yeah,
problem,
yeah,
mate.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what they can do is they can bring back that song, the Otago Highlanders song. You, oh,
Oh yeah.
you don't know that song from the early days.
Oh no, probably not.
Oh,
Probably a
mate,
bit.
that's a conversation for later then.
Yeah,
All right, Western Force. All right,
yeah.
strengths. They've got an experienced 9-10, Nick White and Donaldson.
Donaldson.
Um, yeah, but weakness is just so many unproven guys. Similar to
Mm.
Landers in that sense. And like
A
they've
lot of
made some good
aging,
signings. Yeah,
but
well,
there are a lot of
yeah.
aging signings.
Mm. But they've not like Dylan Peach, who's wicked. I
Yeah,
rate him.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's awesome. And that Tizano, that young Lucy for the Wallabies,
yeah,
he's quite good. He was already there, but he's a good player. They've got some good players, but I just think you look at their team, like it just doesn't match up well
yeah,
enough. I've got them getting the spoon. Again, though, they're good at home. That's their thing. Like they'll pick up results even against good teams at home.
yeah.
Um, but fuck, when was the last time they won an away game? Gee,
Mm. Yeah,
like I can't even. Again, they might have won one last year, and I'm just forgetting. But like they're just a team I think about. Oh, far out. When would they ever win away? Like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just. But maybe it's another Aussie team. But this shit, I can't remember the last time they came to New Zealand and won a game.
No,
Um,
absolutely.
but
A
yeah.
key player to look out for obviously would have to be Harry Potter and his his wizardry on the field.
Oh, that's classic. Yeah,
One of the
honestly,
greats.
how old? Like, I'm trying to think how old. I'll just quickly look him up because how old is he? Because if he's been named Harry because of the
Yeah,
movies, his parents,
it will
there's
be. 100%
there's.
will be.
But yeah, we've got a rugby player called Harry Potter. I mean, and the Wallabies
Yeah,
picked him because of that. That's 100% the reason because he's not good at
yeah.
rugby.
Just for the quotas. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just for the
for the movie
quota.
quota.
Yeah,
Oh no, he's
100% quota
27.
base.
So
Is
he's
it?
like
Is it a bit of a late bloomer?
he was a bit
Okay.
he's like our age. So maybe that almost might be coincidence then. Oh,
Yeah,
that's probably coincidence. All the books would have been out that way, but
yeah. The books would have been
still,
out.
wouldn't have been like a big thing though. But anyway,
No, not as big
um,
as it is these days. But yeah, like you
was it
say,
still
I
big?
think
Is it?
they've. What's that?
Is Harry Potter still big? Is it? Are you still a big fan, or you still?
No, no, no. But I think not 27 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
none of the movies had come out then. So, oh well, yeah. Anyway, enough
We're not a
about Harry
movie
Potter.
podcast, so we don't
Yeah,
want to
enough
get quoted
about.
on these.
Yeah,
Yeah,
enough about fucking Harry Potter. Um, Yeah, no, like you say, they've got some decent players sprinkled across, but I just don't think there's enough quality to really go too deep. One note that I'm looking forward to. I hope this guy he's in the squad, Nick Champion de Crispingi. I hope he gets on the field just so that you can fucking hear the commentator have to struggle through that name every time he touches the ball.
yeah. I missed that one.
Yeah,
Never.
sounds
Oh,
like he's
yeah,
having a fucking stroke. Is anytime you try to pump that one out.
yeah.
Anyway,
Oh well.
yeah, moving on.
Um, is that all
Who's
on
the
the force?
last? Blues
Yeah,
last?
Blues. Yeah, Blues last. So last year's winners, although they didn't win the minor premiership, we just remind the punters about that. The Hurricanes
Yeah,
won the
and
minor premiership.
that's the important
That's
one to
what
win.
matters. Best team in the comp is the team that finishes first in any
Yeah,
comp
yeah,
in the
yeah,
regular season. But because playoffs, we Wellingtonians we don't
yeah.
like playoffs, do we?
Plus, it's just
Anyway,
a flip of a coin anyway, isn't
oh,
it?
nah,
Yeah,
it's just for movies. Um,
yeah,
Anyway, strengths. Fuck, their strength is they literally have mental players all across the park, but some of them are like All Black level, but like I'm also like you're kind of average at the All Blacks, but again, Super Rugby level they're good. Um, and weakness. This is the only thing I could think of for a weakness for them is All Black rest weeks. They'll be having to rest like 7 blokes every week. They've got that many All Blacks, so.
yeah,
And I think, like, if you think about it historically, yes, there's been like star-studded Crusaders teams and stuff that have won Super Rugby with heaps of All Blacks, but there's been years where the All Black rest week has cooked teams, and like you think Highlanders 2015 had like 2 All Blacks, never had any the cohesion, never had to rest
Yeah,
their players. Hurricanes 2016 was the same when they lost all their All Blacks, and they obviously both those teams won. So I think in a way having too many All Blacks can stuff you up a little bit in Super
yeah,
Rugby. Um,
yeah.
so that would be the only thing if I'm clutching. But similar to Chiefs, they've got the best team on paper, and Bodie's back, but he's aging, but he's still at that level. He'll be good. And
Mm.
Is Harry Plummer leaving for this season? Do you know? Because he was
Yeah,
like,
he's
is he
left.
gone? Because
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
obviously in their squad, so I wasn't sure if he'd be. All right, I'll give
Oh
you
no,
this
he
then.
is. No, no, no. He still
Is it
is.
after
No,
20?
it's for after, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, shit. So yeah, they've got him at. So I guess Bodie at 10, Professor 15, Harry
yeah.
Plummer 12. Yeah,
Point
it's
12.
a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
playmakers.
pretty.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be hard to beat that in some ways. Thoughts?
yeah. No, I completely agree with you there. Like you say, with the Chiefs, they're just as solid team, 1 through 15, pretty much. The back line's pretty very star-studded, and they've got so much X factor and playmaking that it's going to be very difficult to
Yeah,
beat them again. But yeah, yeah, like you say, not too many weaknesses apart from the old All Blacks. Resting week will probably be the only niggle for them, but they shouldn't struggle too much.
yeah. What here's a spanner for you though. What if Beauden Barrett's wife requests him to change teams again, and she maybe says, "Oh no, I want to move to Dunedin
Mm,
now," and he has to end up playing for the Landers next year? Like, what do you reckon that's pain in the
yeah.
tab there?
They're at the tab E, probably
Yeah,
for I don't know. I don't want to incriminate myself in case I ever meet Boden Barrett's wife. Like you never know. She might clip this and save and use it for a revenge body or something. But maybe $1.50 because she's been
yeah,
pretty wishy-washy before and she ripped fucking Boden Barrett out of my dear Hurricanes and took him to this
yeah,
dog place. So yeah, not too happy
yeah.
with it. dollar
I
fifty
think
to
that's
change your mind. Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go $1.30 for her to make him change teams.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
Highlanders probably paying a bit more, but I don't know, she might want to move to Australia or something. I mean, but
Yeah.
let's just hope he's
True,
got a
maybe
bit more
Gold
respect.
Coast. Yeah, Gold
Yeah.
Coast and get a tan or something. No, yeah, you never know.
Yeah, Cody at the Reds, how good. I'd love it. I'd be all for that. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, just I don't know. Hopefully he's got more of a backbone this time. I guess if it happens again. But yeah, just obviously we've got over that.
yeah.
All right. So what we'll do is, well, I'll get you. I reckon. Um, in my bin I
Go
can roll.
through.
I'll
Yeah,
pass it over
go
to you.
through.
Go your table, and then I'll go my
Yeah.
table.
Oh,
Regular
well, should we
season. We don't
just?
worry about
Should we
playoffs.
just? Yeah, should we just? We'll go 11. Who we got last,
Oh yeah,
and go work our way up. So
sounds
I've
beautiful.
got coming last. I've got Moana. Um, some people might think it's a great movie, but it's not going to be a great rugby team this year. So I've got
Has
them
never
winning the
been.
spoon. No, I've
Yeah.
I've got them winning the spoon.
Okay, I've gone force. Force.
Yeah, yeah.
Back to you.
Harry Potter not doing it for you?
It's just something about them.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
yeah. I like them
No,
though.
fair enough. Yeah, well, I've got the Force at 10, so we share
Funny that
similar
because
mindset.
I think I've got Minor Pacifica at 10. No, I don't. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I do. Minor Pacifica 10. So we've just swapped around there. Yep.
Yeah. 9 Highlanders.
Yeah, I've got them at 9 too. Yep.
Uh, 8, as much as I like their back row, Reds.
hmm You won't like this. I've got your Fiji and Jura at 8.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that, but I guess I guess we can't be similar the whole way, can we? Uh, well, we're up to 7.
7. Yeah.
7, I'm gonna go for the Tars.
Hmm.
I think
I've
they
got.
could be a smoky, but I'm a bit. I'd like to see it first to see how they gel before yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
obviously, yeah. I don't know. I reckon it's not 100% that it's gonna go right for them. So that's why I got them at 7. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did finish higher.
So you want to see it before you believe it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
you're
could
one of
say
those
so.
guys, eh? You are one of
Yeah,
those guys.
yeah,
I'm going to go Reds at 7. Despite their really good loosies, I just think there's too much missing in the front row and tight five in general. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's fair. 6, I've got my Jura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I have the Brumbies. So I've got them falling down a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've got Brumbies at 5, so pretty similar.
They're always 4 or 5, eh?
4 or 5. Yeah, yeah,
Pretty much every single year in the last 20 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Who'd you have at 5?
5. Crusaders. Yeah, Crusaders at 5.
Yeah,
I still think, just, yeah, but they're 10. Their midfield for me is still a bit, and, like David Havilli's getting older. Levi Moore, I mean, he's actually older than you think as well. And, Lucy's good. Shout out to Christian Leo Willie, one of the greats. We'll get him
mm.
on the potty
Friend of the
in a
show.
few weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
friend of
friend
the
of the
show.
show. Good at hitting footballs and stuff. Sometimes a guest player in football.
Mm,
But
yeah.
I think the Lucy's aren't as good as the Chiefs, Canes, and Blues. I think so. I've got them fifth. Yeah,
Mm. Um, yeah. Fourth is just trying to be so unbiased and so unneutral here. I've actually put the Canes fourth. I think, like you say, just while I love our team, I think our struggles at 10 could throw a bit of a spanner in the works, unfortunately. As much as I hope that's going to be higher and we can get another minor premiership shield for the cabinet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny that because people are going to think we're sharing notes here, and we haven't. We can tell all you people at home like we're not sharing
Mm,
notes. We don't actually get on. But
yeah.
I've got the Canes at 4 too, and it's the same
Oh,
thing. Ten's too much of an issue. Yes, your Peter Lakai, your Brad and Yoss trains, your Nose Flanders,
yeah, the nose.
your Cammy Roy Guns. These guys can do things, but if you're running a Riley Horhipper at the cutter, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I'm not watching club rugby. Like I need a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
and
No,
one of our
if yeah.
sponsors actually, sorry to interrupt you. One of our
Yeah.
sponsors, Henry Williams Farming, one of the members of Henry Williams Farming, he'll be a bit offended. So we might actually have to be
Yeah.
careful about that because he's a big
Yeah.
Riley Warheaper fan. He actually thinks he should be the All Black 10, but I'm not on that train.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, we
yeah,
might have to. Yeah, we might have to blank that part. We might have to cut that part out because that could be. Yeah, he might get offended by that. So, we'll move on
funding
to
will get cut.
3. Yeah, we'll move on to 3 anyway. I got the Satyrs. I just think they'll be bounce back. Yeah, I don't think they'll finish top 2, but I think it would be silly to expect them to have a similar kind of year to the one they had last year. Just like you say, Melbourne Storm kind of culture and system. So always beware of the bounce back game or the bounce back season as it will be. So yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say Satyrs 3.
Yeah, do you know who I haven't said yet? Do you know who I'm going to tell you three? This is going to shock a lot of people back at home, a lot of the listeners.
3 is going to be Tars for you, isn't it?
The Waratahs. Yeah,
Yeah.
something, I can just see it. I don't
Okay.
know. I can just see them getting on a
So you're
run.
believing, yeah, you're believing already. You've seen it and you're believing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I can just see them going on a run early and then maybe losing games late, but them having enough points where they can finish in that third, fourth range. And I just think, yeah, that the fact they get to play all those Aussie teams, and again, they're stronger, but the fact they get to play those Aussie teams twice while the New Zealand teams are fighting each other, it matters and it means a lot. So, yeah, they're
Yeah.
three for me.
No.
Um, mm,
2, 2. I've gone for the Blues. No, I think the top 2 are a bit of a toss up. Like, there's not too much between them. I just think maybe the Chiefs' revenge bod will get them over the line this year.
yeah.
So that's why I gone Chiefs 1, Blues 2.
Yeah, I've done the same. Chiefs one, Blues two. But yeah, the Chiefs props could. It's still a bit of a. Yeah, still not sure about the props, but I've gone Chiefs one as well, and then Blues two. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess that rounds out our Super Rugby preview show, if you like. But what we can
Hmm.
do is we can give a futures punt because obviously we don't have upcoming games this weekend or anything. Give a
No.
futures punt for the season just for some of the punters at home. The greyhound
Yeah.
racing is obviously getting stopped soon, so a lot of us are going to have to settle down with our doggies punting. We're going to have to do a Super
Yeah.
Rugby punt. So
Thank
if you
you,
can
Chloe.
provide me, yeah, sorry, don't, yeah,
Cheers, Chloe. Yeah. I
so you
think
give me one.
for me, I always like a try scorer one, a
Mm.
futures try scorer because you can just ride it the whole time.
Oh, and you like that, eh? You like writing things for a whole season, eh? It's one of your favourite things to do, eh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that just turned awfully sexual for those younger viewers out there, just 10 years away. But no,
Oh,
sorry. But I think my try scorer, I think it's too obvious to go for like your Will Jordans or like a winger. I like to go for a bit of a smoky, so I'm either going to go a Cam Roygun. He's just Cam Roygun, one of the best try scoring fucking halfbacks of all time. Like, how many games does he not score in? Very little. But I'm thinking I might go for old Lonergan from the Brumbies hooker.
mm,
Just for seasons, it's either been bloody Pocock, Stephen Moore, whoever gets on the back of those fucking rolling mauls scores a shitload of
mm,
tries. So
mm,
so yeah, that's why I'll go for that.
mm. Yeah, so I'll go top try scorer for the season as well. And again, I'm going to try go away from I guess the people that will be favourites. Obviously, that's Caleb Clark, Mark Lear, Sevu Reece, Will Jordan, those sorts of people. Um, I've got two shouts for you. One of them, both of them I haven't even mentioned. The one of them, and I'm going to say this is my main one. So we haven't talked about this guy. The great one of the also great names in world sport, Darby Lancaster. Darby, like he's named after hatred, a rivalry.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
a Perth Glory, Wellington Phoenix, if you like. He's been named
yeah.
after
Exactly.
that. Um,
Distance Derby
but
Lancaster.
this
Yeah,
guy is fucking rapid. Like he's quicker than Usain Bolt. Like I don't even care. And we're talking about Central Coast Mariners Usain Bolt.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Darby's got him for pace. Like this guy's incredible. So he's obviously another one that's gone to the Tars from the Rebels that we didn't talk about. If he
yeah.
starts, which I think he will, because they've lost Peach, so I imagine they're starting. Yeah, they'll be starting him. He could be a top try scorer. And my other one is, and this is a little bit of a biased one because obviously Canes. If Cade Banks, who was top try scorer in the NPC, I believe, for North Harbour, if Cade Banks gets the starting right wing spot, which I hope he does, I hope the wingers are Kenny Naholo and Cade Banks for the Canes. I reckon Cade Banks in his proper debut season, he played a game for the Blues last year, but his proper debut season could be a smoky for top try scorer. The reason Josh Morby has got a lot of tries in the last few years for the Canes, so he would be obviously taking up that spot. So yeah, the Canes obviously score a lot of tries, concede a lot of tries, but score a lot of tries. So Cade Banks and Darby Lancaster for your Greyhound
No.
punt for this week.
I think
Yeah,
I think those are great shots. Especially I like you bringing distance Derby Lancaster to the fore there. I think he deserves some recognition. So I guess we'll
yeah,
see.
sweet. Okay, well that pretty much concludes the Super Rugby preview show. So for you listeners at home, the next episode is likely to be an NRL preview, where we do much the same sort of thing. That's obviously going to be even harder to preview because that's such a tight competition.
Oh
And
yeah,
that'll
it's
be
tight.
yeah,
Fuck,
it
it's
is.
tight.
And that'll be coming straight to your Spotify, hopefully within the next week, or a few days, and then we'll get on with our preview reviews and things like that. Did you want to finish with anything yourself, Will, over in London?
Uh, no, nothing too serious on the mind at the moment. So yeah,
Are you just
yeah,
having a big night in London after this, are you?
yeah. Probably gonna have to watch some FA Cup, big
Oh
Arsenal
yeah,
versus United today. So
yeah,
watch that
true.
and then get on the grog. I think. So yeah,
Yeah, nice. I think my Blackburn are up against Middlesbrough soon, so I have to keep an eye on
no,
that. You might
nice.
have to send me that link. Oh, we don't want to encourage illegal streaming, but just that thing you're talking about with the live sport. Yeah, cheers, man. But
Yeah,
yeah, that'll be us. All right, well, um, thank you, New Zealand. Thank you for listening to the New Zealand Sport Podcast episode 2 once again, and
yeah.
we'll
New
see you
Zealand
for
Sport
episode.
casting couch.
Yeah, we'll see you
Yeah,
for the casting couch. We'll see you for episode 3 on the NRL. Goodbye for
sounds
now.
good.